What is up, NFC North fan base? We've got a banger show for you tonight. A little surprise at the end, but first, we're going to cover this last week's games. Let me bring in the panel real quick. Fellas, Bass, Nick, One Bar, Dose. Doing all right tonight?
Doing good. Doing great. I just ready for week one. I'm ready for the Detroit Lions at this rate, man. You know, training camp, it's been fun. It's been fun, but the Packers have their last practice tomorrow, joint one. Excited for week one, especially with all the injuries we have. Just excited to get past this whole
How's Jordan Love doing?
Dude, great. Honestly, I'm sure we'll talk about it more. I'll let these guys intro first, but he's been practicing in terms of like 7v7s. We're doing a lot of those, so he's protected, right? No pass rush, no snapping.
Yeah.
But he's looked good. He's looked good.
Actually, I got something else I'm going to talk to you about here in a minute. Just kind of remembered it. Nick, what's up, man? How you doing? Out of jail, I see.
out of jail, feeling good. You know, it was a long talk. I was in Bears jail again. It's okay. But I'm back, living the dream, ready to play another football game. We're good to go.
That'll never get old. What's up, One Bar? How you doing, brother?
Doing wonderful. You know what? Just like Baz, it's gonna be the theme, but like, let's get the season going. I'm done with training camp. I'm done with preseason. We got to play the Titans this week. I'd rather just stare at my lawn for about an hour, but I'll watch every damn second. But let's get some real football going here. Bears week 1.
Oh God, we got two. Hold on a second. I just realized we got two division games week 1. Oh my gosh, this is about to be heat. I can't wait for week 1 either. What's up, Dose? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. Week 1 is going to be pretty amazing. You know what this is though? This is like the beginning, I think, of the end of the preseason. That's kind of what I'm excited about. I think slowly it's going to start going away here. The joint practices are taking over, and I think everybody just appreciates that more. It's like, all right, we can just cut out these preseason games. Let's just go joint heavy and let's get into the season.
I agree. It's so much more fun. You learn so much more about your team. I love the joint practices. All right, Bass, I got to talk to you because I don't know how true it is. You know, there's always accounts floating around on Twitter sphere, but it does sound like there's a possibility that the Packers have made an offer on Micah Parsons, brother. What? I mean, do you believe this? Do you not believe it? What are your thoughts? Like,
there's so many accounts on Twitter that post this type of stuff. I mean, there's like a talking dog. I won't get into the specifics of the accounts.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. Ricky's pretty legit. I mean, you check his track record. It's pretty dang legit. So I got to give him some credit.
But in the offseason, he also said Rasheed Walker's going to get a mega extension before training camp. Like, I don't know. You know, I get it. You can be wrong. You can talk to the wrong thing. But like, unless it's like an actual report from an agent or something like that comes out, I mean, I'm just not going to believe it. I don't really carry much weight to it. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Gutekunst picked up the phone, but I don't think there's any validity to what exactly an offer or if an offer was even made. And, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath to say the Packers are going to go make some splash of a trade. Like, that's not how they handle business. Gutekunst has said so many times he'll be in every conversation to try to make his team better. And I'm sure he is. But when it comes to big trades, like, there's 100% going to be another team than the Green Bay Packers that would offer them more. Like, no doubt, 100%.
What would you be willing to offer? Like, what would you be comfortable with?
I think Micah Parsons, at the end of the day, you know, is arguably one of the best defenders in the league, and it can absolutely transform your football team. So I think just that alone, you're at start offering multiple first-round picks. When you take a look back at that Khalil Mack trade and how that kind of went down, I think you're offering multiple firsts. I think you're offering then a day 2 pick and then a ascending, you know, younger player, maybe someone like a Lucas Van Ness or something of that sort. I think that's where you start, but then you also got to take into effect the money, right? Then you're paying him probably the highest paid defensive contract in NFL history, over $40 million annually. And if you tie that into what they're also paying Rashawn Gary, it starts to becomes a little bit muddy there. So I don't know. It's not something that I really foresee happening.
Okay. All right. I just, you know, saw it out there. I got curious. Why don't we just continue with you real quick and talk about this last week's preseason game? Guys got the win, beat the Colts 23-19. I know you're feeling really good about that one. Why don't you talk to me about what you saw in that game?
First I'm going to start off with actually the very ending of it, because we got the win. Not that it matters in preseason, but like, did you guys see that? Like, did anyone watch like the ending sequence of that game?
Yeah, it was
So Jason Bean, which I didn't even know this was a real guy, was their quarterback at the time. We were calling him Baked Beans on stream the entire time, but he was kind of cooking us. Like,
he's a creative player.
Dude, yeah, but he was cooking us, right? And he throws like a dot to Jelani Woods at the goal line. And I swear this dude catches it and gets across the goal line. And they just sort of like incomplete, game over. And like everyone walks into the middle of the field. I'm like, they didn't even review it. And it would have won them the game. Not that it matters because it's preseason. I just wanted to start there because it was crazy. But yes, it did feel good to at least put on a nice performance in a preseason game, right? Because last week against the Jets, it was just not great. And the first half kind of looked more of that. But at the same time, the Packers had 29 players not playing in this game, including every starter and a ton of injuries, whereas the Colts were playing starters like the entire first half. Like Jonathan Taylor, I think, got a carry in the second quarter. And I was like, what are we really doing here in the second week of the preseason? So the first half, under that sense, looked pretty poor. And the Packers also committed 11 penalties for, I think, 85 yards in the first half. It was pretty disgusting. There's a few good things to come out of the first half. I liked the way Malik Willis extended plays, got out of the pocket. We're going to see a ton of Malik Willis here in this third preseason game. I liked how they ran the football. I'm pretty sure it was, some pretty tough running. It's not that they averaged too well, only 4 yards per carry, but guys like Israel Banikonda, Emmanuel Wilson, even though he had a fumble in the first half, Amar Johnson, I like the way those guys ran. And we finally got to see Marshawn Lloyd, who seems like he has an injury every single time he touches the field, which, spoiler, he had another one after a 33-yard wheel route. You could see the athleticism, you can see the talent, and he gets hurt like on that very play. So it's very unfortunate for a guy that has so much talent, just can't stay on the field. Outside of the first half, which again was ugly for the Packers, I liked the way they turned it around in the second half, right? They had 11 penalties in the first half, only 1 in the second. And then you were really starting to see, okay, second string and third string versus second string and third string. And that's where the Packers really started to heat up. Taylor Elgersma, the Canadian quarterback, came in and looked a little like timid at first, but then started to really heat up. And I like the way he played. I think he's like quarterback 3 right now for the Packers. And the defense, I like the way the second string defense also did it against the Colts. I guess I would say starting offense, because it's like Anthony Richardson, Danny Jones. We could talk about that all night about how they're doing that over there. But it's crazy, by the way. But I like the way the second team defense played against their now starting quarterback and Danny Jones, but he also missed a bunch of throws. Outside of that, one of the main players that has just been phenomenal through 2 preseason games, and I've been very, very impressed with, is Jordan Morgan at left tackle. He actually has the highest pass blocking grade of all offensive tackles in the entire preseason. And he's been tremendous. He hasn't allowed a single pressure, a single sack, a single hit, a single hurry, or a single penalty. And that's a lot of snaps at left tackle over these first 2 games. So really like what I've seen from Jordan Morgan. And the Packers, got a decent amount of pressure. We saw in the joint practice before the game on Thursday, the Packers got a ton of pressure against that Colts offensive line. Now, we only ended the game with 1 sack, but we actually ended with 28 pressures. So it's nice to see a lot of our depth rotational edge guys, get home. Outside of that, a couple injuries. Like I said, Marshawn Lloyd, Omar Brown, and Barron Sorrell, our 4th-round rookie, I think has an MCL sprain out of the game. So a little unfortunate there. Really was excited to see him. But nonetheless, it was nice to see a comeback by the Packers, a lot more sound football in the second half, and come away with a win. And, the depth looked pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of injuries this preseason in general across the league. I feel like it's more and more kind of going back to your point that the joint practices might be the way to go. It doesn't seem like as much is coming out of those things, but we'll have to see. Nick, buddy, talk about bragging rights. You and Dan, I know you were messaging Dan about this. You don't care if it's preseason. 38-0 is 38-0. That's absolutely insane. Talk to me about this game, brother.
Well, Dan didn't reply to any of my messages, so that's kind of how.
It's because it's preseason, man. It's preseason.
Who cares, man? Like, I post the training camp, the joint practice video. Bills fans are all they were on top of the world. They're like, we're gonna crush you guys Sunday, this and that. And then I come back like literally Sunday night. It was like midnight. I just couldn't fall asleep. I just started replying, sup. A ton of people blocked me. It was fine. But at the end of the day, like, It was a good game. It was exciting to see. Like, so the big news just came out today that we extended Tyson Bagent. We gave him a 2-year contract extension. Our backup quarterback, who's been doing really well in the preseason, and like that's a big key for the Bears. Like Ben Johnson's obviously came here to develop Caleb Williams, but he also is doing that with Tyson. And Tyson played really well against the Bills. Like he went 13 for 22, almost 200 passing yards, over 50% completion, over 60% completion percentage, no interceptions. So like the fact that our twos were going against Buffalo's twos and dominating, like that speaks a message in my personal opinion. Like, and then our ones obviously ripped them apart. They were only out there for 2 drives and they racked up over 200 yards of offense. 530 yards total offense on the day by the Bears, 38 points, no points allowed. Defense looked dominant. Dennis Allen's scheme looked really good at all levels. The one thing about the Bears is that like we have a ton of injuries right now. We just put another guy on IR after this Bills game. We just re-signed Raymond Freeman, a guy that was on the team last year. So, you know, I was happy with the result of the game, but the injuries to Austin Booker, you know, Case Keenum got hurt at the joint practice. Doug Kramer, a key interior offensive lineman for this team. Kyle Monangai was out too. So it's a good 38-0 win, but then I'm kind of sitting there going, all right, the injuries kind of piled up here a little too early for me. Maybe they're getting the injury bug out early. But that's the only negative from it. But looking at how the offense was ran, Luther Burden looked really good again. That's our big rookie wide receiver that we're excited about. He looks comfortable in Ben Johnson's offense. Johnson's offense is super wide receiver friendly, spreading out people to different zones. Someone seems to always be open for whoever's the quarterback for the Bears, which is great. The running attack was doing really good. Ian Wheeler, the undrafted rookie free agent from last year, tore his ACL, had 2 rushing touchdowns. Looked solid overall. We need that, especially if this Bears running back room continues to stay injured as is. And our tight ends room looked really solid as well. Colson Loveland had a nice catch. Cole Kmet had a huge 30-yard gain. And then Joel Wilson, former Buffalo Bill on the team, he had like 45 yards receiving and was all over the place. So offense looked really solid. And Baz, you're kind of hitting on it too. When I was doing some research on some Bears linemen, Jordan McFadden, a guy that the Bears picked up off waivers from the Chargers, is the 3rd best guard at the moment, only allowing 2 pressures the entire preseason and over 80 snaps. But that's like a big plus for the Bears. Like we have a lot of depth at the offensive line position. It's going against the 2s and 3s, but I mean, you are in the NFL. You got guys that are fighting for their NFL lives on the other side of the ball, might be playing a little harder. He's holding his own. So we got to see a lot of depth. Got to see a lot of good things from the scheme. The starters look comfortable in the scheme. The defense dominated. And I'll take a 38-0 win and Dan Mitchell ignoring and hitting me with free receipts. It's a good day for me.
Isn't that twice in a row that you've gotten ignored by the Roundtable Sports crew?
No. TD did reply eventually. He's like, "Oh, my bad." I think because I called him out on the show. So maybe Dan will reply.
Maybe Dan's listening too. That's perfect. I love it.
I'm like,
oh my gosh. All right, One Bar. You guys didn't get the win, losing to the Patriots 20-12. But talk to me about what you saw from the Vikings this weekend.
Man, I saw Mike Vrabel coming out like this was the Super Bowl. This was funny. I mean, so the Patriots, they played their ones. Vikings didn't play any starters, just like the Packers, like Baz. So it was painful. I mean, Drake May out there. The good thing was the Patriots first team offense comes out, and the second string defense for the Vikings and a handful of the third actually held their own. I think they held them to 7 points in the first quarter, and then the Patriots ended up getting another one. But overall, I mean, I'm not going to come on here and say like, hey, man, these second, third stringers, they look great. We are just absolutely stacked with depth. It was sloppy. It was a pain. Preseason games are fairly painful anyways, but it was pretty sloppy. I mean, Kevin O'Connell was even on live during the broadcast. They put him on for the third quarter. Dude throws out an F-bomb. He was just absolutely infuriated, which was probably one of the highlights of the game is when he did do that. But I mean, right now for the Vikings, out of this game, what they wanted to see is some solid depth to make some easy decisions when it comes to the cornerback and when it comes to the backup quarterback. And neither of those were answered because Sam Howell comes in. He was 1 for 5 with one of the ugliest interceptions you'll probably see. I mean, it was like Jordan Love-esque, doing one of those weird things where he's on his back foot. He just winged that thing. And Sam Howell just looked like backup quarterback will be a discussion for the Vikings when it comes to final cuts, when it comes to making a trade, whatever it is. Nick, you mentioned Case Keenum. Case Keenum, come on home, baby, because we might need you. Max Brosmer, a guy that I think I talked about last week, former golfer, undrafted guy, again, looked really, really good. I don't know if it's because Sam Howell looks so bad, but Brosmer, they got something in him. I think they need to keep him on the 53. I don't think they can afford to lose him. So backup quarterback will be one. And then I mentioned the cornerback position. You know, they're pretty solid. I mean, they got Byron Murphy. They're putting a lot of hope in Isaiah Rodgers. I got a lot of hope for him. He's having a good camp. But behind those guys, it gets thin really quick. And guys like Dwight McGlothern, guys like Mekhi Blackman, they're just not playing overly great. And we're hoping to see some more out of them. So, I mean, I'd love to come on and say it was a great game to watch, but it was pretty damn sloppy for the Vikings. They got some questions. And maybe it's just I was annoyed because they were playing 0 starters and they were going against the Patriots number ones. But it wasn't a great showing.
All right. Well, backup quarterback, always a point of interest, especially when you have somebody who's unproven and hasn't stayed healthy yet, right? So it might be a big deal. You've got such a talented team over there. Losing JJ and not having somebody behind him might be a little rough. You could have had Danny Dimes had he stayed, but, you know, such is life. Now he's a starter for the Colts.
Hey, he's going to get us a 4th-round comp pick, baby. I'm so glad the Colts are starting him. Let's go. I'll be Danny Dimes' biggest fan this year.
Well, the aforementioned TD Finstocks, he's got a little bragging rights over a preseason game. And you know those Dolphins fans, they absolutely love their bragging rights in preseason because we know they're not doing anything in the regular season. However, Lions did play either way, and I'm sure there was some takeaways from that game. Dose, why don't you talk to me a little bit?
Yeah, you know, this is disappointing because this is probably something that TD would be fired up about. You saying that, he would be fired up. Like, oh, yeah, we handle business. First off, look, man, I didn't realize. I think Bass said there was 11 penalties in his game. 13 for us in this one. This may have been like the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in terms of penalties. It got to a point where it was like, okay, can we let him play football? Like, it was that bad. That said, I think the first half was a real positive. You know, we ended up leading at halftime, and the second half just looked like a completely different team. For us, we talk about depth, interior offensive line. We got a second unit together that looked pretty strong. The third unit was an absolute disgrace to football. So the second unit felt pretty good there. 14-7 at half. Kyle Allen settled in again. He was very efficient, missed a couple throws early. After that, I think he had one incomplete pass. He must have finished like 16 of 17. So he found his rhythm. It was good to get Vaki back. He looks good at back there. And then from the defensive side of the ball, I feel like we've really settled into kind of knowing who we have. It's just kind of the back end spots for a few positions. Like if you keep a cornerback 6, who in the world are you keeping? I have no idea. We have like 6 new cornerbacks back there. So I have no clue. Every week it feels like a different guy's playing. And then it's just kind of like all like this. So I don't know. So I feel like I'm confident with 5. It's kind of like that at safety a little bit. Once you get that far, it's kind of like that at edge 2. I feel like right now, though, we're in a good spot where you have a solid number 2 unit for the most part that you're like, a lot of these guys could start and you'd be okay. But then it's the drop off is massive. And it's just because you got a whole bunch of new players that are stepping in there. So me, the biggest takeaway was the receiver room. Isaac Tesla, we keep getting to see him. Honestly, at this point, I don't need to see anymore. I thought it'd be a little bit slow than bringing him along. Nah, this dude's going to play week 1. He's going to get some snaps week 1. I expect him to honestly get a pass thrown his way week 1. He's at least going to be out there to block. That guy's looked too good to this point. And then Jackson Meeks has continued to cook. So he's making a case. Like maybe you should cut the guy you drafted and love it. I wouldn't go there, but some people believe they should. So at very least, the receiver depth here's what I'll say. In years past, backup quarterback was such a mess for us, at least the group of backup quarterback. We didn't really know what we'd ever have in the backup receivers. It was kind of like one guy might have 2 receptions, like, oh, he cooked. That guy, he got it twice today. We didn't know. So at least this time around, you know, when Meeks has like 9 receptions, it's crazy. It's a whole new world over here, Naylor. So I feel pretty good with how this game actually went outside of the third unit. Because like I said, the third unit, I don't know what we were doing. It was just not football. It was 3 and out until the last drive, and then the dude made a Superman interception. So it was a positive. I actually enjoyed our third preseason game.
Yeah, Tesla is interesting, man. He's a big body guy. I look at the pairing with him and JMO and Amon-Ra, and I just feel like that's the perfect archetype receiver to go with those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a basketball team. It really is. It's kind of like the missing link. And it's cool because I thought when we initially got Goff, like these would be the kind of receivers we'd go after. And we kind of did, but we didn't have money. So it was like, all right, here's Tyrell Williams. It was like, oh man, we're fired up to see him. And then we don't see him at all. So this kind of takes me back to the Cal days a little bit of what Goff used to have, and these big bodied receivers that were pretty fast, just ran vertical routes. That's what it takes me back to. I'm excited about it.
Are you paying attention to just maybe like some of the schematic things that are happening? I know that it's not the starters, and it is tough to like analyze preseason games, but you do have 2 new coordinators.
Yes.
Do you feel like, are you watching that pretty closely to just see what type of play calls they're making in certain situations? How are you feeling about those guys? Are they doing interviews and saying how they're coming around and getting comfortable? Like, what are those conversations like?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. So defensively, it looks very similar. Like even how we played preseason in the past, it feels pretty much the exact same. Very heavy man coverage. We're still going to blitz like crazy on 3rd down. They still run a ton of Tampa 2 for whatever reason in the preseason. It's very similar to what you're typically going to see. The one play that stuck out to me that I didn't like was they were at like the 15. We ran cover 3 there, and it was like, oh, we're going to get cooked. I was like, I don't know why we're running this here. So I'm just hoping Kelvin Shepherd doesn't run this unless he's going to match it or something. Like, please don't run this in the regular season. I don't know, but that call was just atrocious. Regardless, though, most of it looks the same. Offensively, I will say it feels different. A lot of the route concepts feel different. Now, there's a point where it gets to like, okay, we're teetering on the brink of, I don't know why we're running this still, versus I can understand we don't want to show anything. But like when we're running 4 verts and then we get to the point where it's like, oh, we're still running this. It's like, there's no answer here. You're looking at it. You're like, there's no way a guy's going to be open on this play. And you're just watching them run it. So it's like, okay, I wish there was maybe something else to this. But I will say that is the one thing where it feels different. There feels like, there's still their vertical passing in the play action, that kind of thing. But it feels like the way that they're going about it throughout preseason has had its own little flavor. It's been like, okay, this is different than what Ben would call. You're getting like different spots from double moves, and you're just trying to create like different shots over top that just feel different. The timing feels a little different. Even as far to say like, hey man, we're just running like a deep post and a deep dig. It's like now it's different. Now it's like, oh, it's more of an over route, and then you got this guy running a lot flatter. It just feels there's his own little wrinkle and taste to it, but the defense looks very similar so far. Outside of the defensive line contain is much better in the past. And we've seen this regular season. We would get cooked by everybody that wanted to run at quarterback. It didn't matter if you were an athletic or not. It was like, hey, just kind of run because you're going to do really well, especially in the preseason. This year, that's been the biggest positive is that hasn't happened. And I don't know if I give credit to the D lineman growing or, whatever, Kelvin Shepherd or Casey Rogers. I tend to give credit to Casey Rogers because he got so much love during this offseason. So I'm glad
we've talked a lot about injuries as well. And you guys got some good news on that front. Usually it's bad news. You got McNeil back, so that should help as well.
Hold up, we got McNeil back?
Didn't you? It was.
No,
who was it?
I don't think we got McNeil back. Hey, we got him back. Hold up.
Who was it?
It was like TV last year.
Who was the guy that came off IR? Who was the guy that came off IR?
Mekhi Wingo. Mekhi Wingo.
Oh, Wingo.
Hey, you got me fired up. Hold up.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of Lee McNeil. I know. That was way too excited. I got you.
What is up with the host doing that? Stop it.
Maybe I'm
HR orientation.
Breaking news. Parsons to the pack. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Wingo is a good get back though. Wingo is
good. Get everybody excited around here, huh?
I'm with it, man. Look, dude, speaking into existence, getting Wingo back was good for us though, because it is one of the, and we just want to see him play. And he had a very, very significant injury Thanksgiving, so I didn't know he'd be back this soon. So I'm good. It's good that you brought that up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, fellas. Before we get into some spicy takes, which we will get into in just a second, we got to talk about becoming a Patreon member. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Become a Patreon member. You will get a call-in link, basically backstage access to not only this show, but every Roundtable Sports show that exists. If you want to call in, maybe talk a little bit of trash, regular season's right around the corner. Now would be the time to do it. Join the Patreon, get backstage access, call in whenever you want. All right. And I have to tell you about our friends, our sponsors over at RotoWire. Promo code RTS for 15% off. RotoWire is the best tandem fantasy football app that there is. No question about it. 2 ways that I use it, and there's a multitude of different things that you can do. I like to sync my league to it because I play in crazy leagues, 2 quarterback leagues, IDP leagues, half-point PPRs, full-point PPRs. Every league is a little bit different, and doing a standard mock draft just doesn't prepare you the way that it should. That's where RotoWire comes in. You can sync your league to RotoWire. If you have keepers, whatever going on, you can mock draft exactly how your league plays. This is a game changer, I promise. And then to top it off, you can do the draft assist, which gets you real-time analysis during your draft. You can create a game plan going in. I don't know if you're like me, but I always create game plans going into fantasy drafts, and then I sway because one player pops up that should I go him or him? And then I always regret it. No more of that. RotoWire's got you covered. They are the best tandem fantasy football app around. I guarantee it. Like I said, promo code RTS for 15% off. All right, fellas, let's get into some spicy takes. This can be a spicy take about your team or a team in the division. Bass, I'm going to start with you, brother. Give me a spicy take for this upcoming season.
All right, I'll stick with my team here. I'll go Matthew Golden wins offensive rookie of the year. And I'll explain my reasoning behind this. I don't know do you guys find this spicy? Like, or am I that biased right now on Matthew Golden?
I do.
You spicy. Okay. It's spicy enough. Okay. It's like room temp. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of
okay, well, hold on. Hold on a second.
I think the running backs that are rookies make it a little more spicy.
That's true, but the lack of quarterbacks, I'm like, is it spicy enough? You know what I mean?
It's not spicy.
It's not sound too spicy. Okay,
no, dude,
hold
on a second. Dose better have a spicy one then. The issue you're talking right now, it better be real good. I can't wait. All right, go ahead, guys.
Jake, the Minnesota sports fan, level 3 of 5 spice. Okay, we're talking a little spicy. All right, so my reasoning behind this was, there's Cam Ward. And then, there's not too many quarterbacks that I'm going to go, okay, there's no Jaden Daniels or even Caleb Williams for that matter. I'll give you that, Nick. That I'm going, okay, this player could be offensive rookie of the year. The last time the Packers had an offensive rookie of the year was Eddie Lacy in 2013. And that was really the last early offensive rookie that they had that got the start right away. And Matthew Golden is slated to be our starting wide receiver, especially with all the injuries that we have. Jaden Reed has been out of practice the last 2 weeks. He's primarily our slot guy. But a guy that maybe would have seen snaps over him early on, Tay Wicks, has been out for 3 weeks now with a calf injury as well. Christian Watson's on the PUP with an ACL. He probably won't play. I think he's going to be chomping at the bit to come back after week 4. He's been training like his ass off, and he looks great for coming off a torn ACL in week, 17. But early on, Matthew Golden is slated to get wide receiver 1 opportunity. And he's been showcasing that in camp, it seems like every day, even without Jordan Love practicing. I mean, he cooked Keyshawn Nixon and Evan Williams on a deep post to end practice yesterday. Romeo Doubs is the other guy that, yes, he's going to get the opportunity as well. I just see the comment, Zodiac Doubs in a contract year, looking for him to step up big time. I agree. The concussion things kind of scare me a little bit. And then last year, it's kind of like an inconsistency with Romeo Doubs, where it seems like right now, Matthew Golden, like he has the demeanor, he has the swagger, he has the talent to be that guy in this offense. And he showcased it week in, week out in training camp, in 1v1s, even in joint practice last week against the Colts. Charvarius Ward and given receivers are supposed to win in 1v1 situations, but just cooking him on a slant route. He's looked really good. He's looked like he has the best hands on the team. I think he has 1 drop all of camp, and it was kind of a high pass, but still classified as a drop. He plays bigger than his frame. Right. He's 6 foot, I think 188 or 190. 6 foot is given the benefit. I think he's 5'11", but he plays a lot bigger than his frame. His body control is next level, sideline work, all of that. He's a burner, whether you believe his 40-yard time was true or not. He's got the speed, and I'm very, very high on him. And like I said, Eddie Lacy won it in 2013. That was really the last rookie that got thrown right into the mix. Christian Watson kind of did, but he had a lot of inconsistencies and issues. So that's why I think he truly does have a case to be offensive rookie of the year.
I like it. Dose, you better be ready. Nick, we're going to go to you next, brother. I want a spicy take. Let's see if you can level up the spice.
Level 4 out of 5 is spice. There you go.
Yeah.
It's Nick. He's definitely gonna.
Yeah. I think
Caleb Williams, Super Bowl MVP. Here we go. All right, go ahead.
No. Well, yeah, maybe. I will say that I do think, Caleb Williams coming off of nearly 3,600 passing yard season, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions with 3 different play callers and being sacked 68 times last year. Pretty impressive for a guy that was thrown into the absolute fire. Great offseason champs. I own it. It's fun. I know Bass has got that banner ready for me. I think that the Bears got him protection. They got him a play caller. They got everything put together. I think Caleb throws for 4,500 yards this year. I think that he's going to be a real gunslinger. I think that he's going to be able to throw it downfield. Because think about it. DJ Moore had 1,300 yards his first year with the Bears, and that was with Justin Fields. He has a better quarterback now in Caleb Williams. Last year was kind of a bit of a disaster. He still had almost 1,000 yards receiving. I think DJ Moore is going to have well over 1,100 receiving yards this year. Rome Odunze, 740 receiving yards last year. Same situation. He looks better. He looks stronger. He looks more confident. Antoine Randall L has that room just cooking. So Caleb's got a lot of targets right here. A lot of targets already. Then you add in Colston Loveland, rookie from Michigan. Cole Kmet, veteran tight end that's been pretty good in the NFL so far. Then you have Luther Burden, best yard after catch wide receiver in college football in the last couple of years. You know, Zacchaeus has been really good for us so far in camp in the preseason. Caleb's got a ton of weapons. He has protection. He has good play calling minds with Ben Johnson, Declan Doyle, Eric Bieniemy, that entire just offensive unit as a whole. Antoine Randall L is obviously big for him too. I really think that the Bears are going to have a 4,500-yard passer. First time in team history over 4,000 yards. And I think that he's going to break it. Hotter take, I think he's going to break it by week 15. And then Bears will be in the position that they can rest him. I think that he's in a really good position, though. I think 4,500 yards is a big possibility for him this year.
Why are they resting him?
Love it.
There's a spicy.
Why are they resting him?
That's the
spicy
take is that they're in the playoffs and they're
take.
resting him the final week of the season. That's crazy. That's the spicy take.
That's the spiciest one right there.
Yeah, no, I just kept adding a little bit more. You know, on hot wing, like our hot ones, whatever, like each wing gets hotter. I had like 3 wings right there, and I just got to the last one right there. Resting him because
the last dab, baby.
Somebody said if you're real bold, you'll just pick him to go 1-0.
That's crazy.
All right, one bar.
Fine. That's like the first wing. That's easy. That's easy. Let's go on. We're gonna be 1-0.
Well, one bar. Why don't you give us a spicy take, sir?
I gotta say, like Baz, I'm buying. I think you sold me on that offensive rookie of the year.
I sold you?
Well, I think I honestly, like, the more I think about it, like, why would you look anywhere but him? I mean, those other guys can't catch the ball. I'm throwing to him every damn time. I think he's gonna put up some numbers. I'm sold. I'm sold.
There we go.
I'm going on the defense side of the ball because I do think the Vikings defense this year is gonna be top 5, maybe even top 3. Just the guys they've added to this, the guys they got coming back. And my spicy take is Jonathan Grenard. I'm going to say 20 sacks and leads the league. Obviously, I think last year was 17.5. Grenard coming off, I think he had 12 sacks last year. Grenard is going to have an absolute monster of a season. And you know what? I should have looked it up. I don't know last time somebody had 20 sacks, but Grenard, he still wants to get another big old contract. He's only been with the Vikings 1 year, but he wants to re-up, and he has been an absolute monster in training camp, going against a pretty damn good offensive line, to the point where it's like they're telling him to just back up, man. You're gonna hurt somebody out here. And when you got Van Ginkel, you got Cashman, the second year under Flores. I think Grenard is going to light this league up. He's going to be, I mean, if he gets that, he's going to be defensive MVP. 20 sacks, and a lot of them are going to come within the NFC North, and I can't wait. This guy is a machine, an absolute machine. Dion looks perplexed, but wait for Jared Goff to be sitting on his ass and Jonathan Grenard over him like this. Let's go.
Okay, one bar.
TJ Watt, last one, 2021, 22.5 sacks. That was
Johnny Grenard, baby. He is coming. He's coming hungry. You got Van Ginkel on the other side. You got Grenard, and the big part about this is their new defensive line, and I get it. They're old and they need to stay uninjured. I should say Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and then you got Harrison Phillips. You can plop him in the middle where he should have been his whole career. So you know what? I like it. I'm going with it.
Spicy. It's definitely spicy. Dose, brother, this you've had some time to sit on this. I don't know what your original take is, but or if it was spicy enough Okay, are you keeping it the same? All right, look at it. Just I love the swagger and the arrogance coming off of Dose right now over the spicy take. All right, brother, go ahead, man. It's all you.
One bar. By the way, what made yours spicy was the fact that you said most of it would come against the North. That's spicy because you got some good old lines here. That's why. And by the way, Bass, the only reason I said it wasn't spicy is because I think your receiver actually could do that. Like I think that's very on the table. That's why I think. That's why. Okay. Here we go. So I'm gonna pull the Nick approach.
Don't walk it back now, Dose.
No, I'm not. I actually.
Wait, what are you gonna pull?
I have some chicken wings. I got some chicken wings I got to grab from here. But the first thing I had, just to give you a little appetizer before we get to the wings, was the Vikings will sweep the Bears this year. So I just wanted to lay that out there. I don't know that's that spicy, but a little appetizer.
That ain't spicy. It's beautiful.
Okay,
though.
that's fair. See,
You know, stick to your own team.
Let's go.
Over there.
No, I mean, all right, here we go.
That's a
Our
garlic
picture
parm.
day was
Garlic
great.
parm
We got to
wing,
see the
man.
picture that came out, by the way. We never saw it.
Can I get a
You
wallet?
was asking to hang out in a hotel room again. Now you tick me off. Here, all right, what you got?
Send us little
what
wallet
we got.
pics. Come on. Put on the dashboard of my car. Come on.
Here's what we got. All right. First, I'll lay it out like this. Lions defense will be better than the offense this season. I'll lay it out like that to get it started. Lions defense was better than the offense. Let's keep in mind, best third down defense in football last year, 7th in red zone, 7th in points allowed. We're going to walk away from this year's defense saying, hey, that defense is better than the offense. They'll be known for the defense this season. That's how I want to get it started. But here's where we really spice it up. The Lions pass defense will compete, right? We'll lay it down like this because it's fair. We'll compete with the lowest pass rating allowed of the 2020s. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, that's not crazy, but hear me out. Here's why it is crazy. The team that they would have to compete with is the 2021 Bills, I believe, who allow like a 65 pass rating, which is all amongst teams from the 2000s because it's like, oh, all these teams weren't throwing the ball back then. The stat line the Bills put up that year was 12 touchdown pass allowed, 19 interceptions, and they ended up that season giving up a 56% completion percentage. Lions last season allowed 18 touchdowns, 16 picks, and 61% completion percentage. I say that they put those numbers on line with Buffalo Bills this year. They're known for their defense this season, and that's my spicy take. We are the new, I didn't think of a good nickname, so let me just stop right there. But there you go. I'm sorry.
I work on that part,
ending,
but it is a spy. That is actually a very spicy take. Because you're not just saying they'll be the best this year. You're saying that they are competing.
We were the best last year. We were the best in football last year. 82 pass rating allowed, top in football. So we got to take the next step. You know what I mean?
65.
We're going to change the football this year. We're going to be so handsy. We're going to get so many penalties that don't count against us.
Yeah, it's Terry Arnold. He's going to.
Hey, but look, that doesn't count against the sets, right? So it's like we're going to be handsy when you throw it. It's either going to be picked off, incomplete, or I don't know what the other option is. Pass breakup. That one. A lot of good things happening with that pass defense this year. A lot of good things.
Nick, you got a fan here in Donald Ho. He's shouting you out.
Wow, what a guy. I hope he's a Bears fan. The best team in the North.
Cold takes is crazy. Hey, look, at least my take is realistic. What was the Bears take? Caleb Williams, 4,500. What are we talking about?
Start at 4,000. Let's start at 4,000.
Wait,
Start at
okay,
4,000.
hang on.
You're at 3,200. What are we doing? Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
No. Well, first of all, I like Dion's cold take sponsored by Floby. That was pretty funny. I love that from Relentless Mikey. That was pretty good. No, you're just upset because Ben Johnson's on the Bears and what he did for Jared Goff with Detroit. He's gonna do it with Caleb.
That adds my take, though. That adds my take. I said we'd be better defensively than offensively. I actually showed him some love right there.
Relentless Mikey with the callback on the Floby was well played. Very, very well played.
In it with the lore. He's got
hair looks great today, by the way, Dose. Just
I appreciate that.
takes, I don't know.
Nick, I saw something today that Tyson Bagent was the first quarterback to get an extension since Jay Cutler in 2014 for the Bears. That's insane.
Yeah, first Bears quarterback to receive a multi-year extension. We've had quarterbacks get 1 year extension, 1 year re-signs, but a multi-year extension. First guy to get it since Jay Cutler's crazy contract back in the mid 2010s. Yeah, but Tyson Bagent, great guy, by the way. Just gotta love him. Love what they did, but yeah, it's a little crazy.
Isn't his dad a little crazy?
His dad's
an arm wrestling champion.
Yeah.
I didn't ask that. Is he crazy?
Is he a little bit.
Doesn't he
post on like line like his son should be started? I mean, I guess that's supportive dad. I can't. Hear him.
He did say something like that.
I don't know why we're on a Tyson
And
page.
I didn't
Straight
have too many
here.
comments on it. I got nothing. You kind of got me going like
We got
this.
some breaking news. We got
Breaking news, what's up?
The Vikings
What is it?
traded Harrison Phillips.
That ain't right.
No,
Is that legit? ESPN just dropped.
TD? Where'd
Are you
TD?
serious?
Ian
they
Rappaport.
did. Yeah, he's just talking about flop him in the middle. And they
What?
flopped him off the damn roster. Goodbye.
What?
Holy crap! Yeah, they did.
I don't believe you guys.
What'd they trade him for?
Dude, we're not trolling you.
6th
What
round.
the hell did they trade him
Jets.
for?
I'll get the details. I'll
Look right there.
Here we go. Here we go. Phillips in a 7th for his 2 6th round picks.
That's the most confusing thing. Are you serious?
Yeah. There you go.
Hot take. That's
for a
crazy.
6th round pick
Bernard under 20
and
now.
for 2 6th-round picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yo,
it's
hot take, great trade.
this year and next year. So now
Wow.
you're
I'm
Hot
sorry,
take,
man.
great
That makes
take.
0 sense. 0 sense. And I mean, I don't get that one damn bit. He was the man in the middle. So like, I'm trying to think of who they put in there. I mean, we got Hargrave and got Jonathan Allen. It's like Taki Taimani is the next man up. We drafted Ingram Dawkins. I mean, and then they're very high on him. 2 6th-round picks. That's like
And you're sending
free.
a 7. And you're sending a 7.
Of course we are. We're probably sending 2 6th-rounders and a 7. Who knows? I mean, this makes 0 sense to me. I was very excited for Phillips to actually be plopped in the middle this year.
Plop on the plane.
middle.
Goodbye. Plop on the plane.
and the do him dirty, trading him.
Where
to
did he
the
go? Where did he go?
Jets.
I didn't catch
We're
that.
trading him to
Jets?
the Jets, man. That's not even
Oh.
polite. That is rude. Harrison Phillips has been too good of a guy on and off the field to send him to the Jets. At least just cut his ass and let him go somewhere. Because 2 6th-round picks, man, give me a break. This is gross.
That's crazy.
Wow. All right.
I'm not happy right now. This is upsetting.
It doesn't make any sense to me either. I don't think it makes sense to any of us. That's why Bass said hot take, great trade.
This could have been they could have gave us a 5th round. I'd still be pissed off. Like it makes. I don't know, man.
But don't they need a
They're smarter
receiver?
than me?
So is that like getting picks so they can go get a receiver?
Well, we're gonna trade 2 6th-rounders for a real
there you
horseshit
go.
receiver, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, the Vikings are clearly a lot of rumors about them going to get a receiver. Maybe that's what it is. Man, love Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, that's messed up.
My heart's
He's
sad.
He's a captain too.
Then
right?
now his spicy defensive take just got a little tougher.
No, now
Actually,
Gennard will have 25
20.
plus. No, you know he's
Under
good.
20 now.
We're good. We're good on that.
They don't got
Gotta
their man
pick
in
up
the middle
that.
now.
That's
Gotta pick
insane.
it up. Yeah.
He would be one of the
the
last
first-
guys I would have thought that would actually get traded. To be honest, that's just crazy. Came out of nowhere.
Wow.
Wait, isn't
All
that
right.
also like the
Yeah,
first
go.
time during the show that breaking news actually real breaking news happened?
Actual news,
breaking
not,
news.
not
Did you guys
TD
get
saying-
baked out?
Pat,
Oh,
what
TD.
was it? Pat Surtain to like the Bears or some shit.
Yeah.
it was very random. Very random. So weird.
TD, gosh. All right, let's do some quarterback rankings in the division. We'll switch it up this time. We'll start with Nick on this one. I've got to know where he's got Caleb Williams. So just give me the starting quarterbacks, 1 through 4, 4 through 1, whatever you feel comfortable with. Drop them on us.
So I'm obviously going to start with Caleb Williams at number 1. That's easy money. You know, getting again, I kind of talked about earlier. You're not going to have a 4,500-yard passing season and not be the best quarterback in the division. So he's got all the weapons. He's got the coaching staff. Again, from last season to this year, he already looks a lot better. So I got him as number 1. Number 2, going with Jordan Love. I think that he obviously has been arguably the most consistent throughout his entire career in the position that he's been in. You know, Jared Goff, I put at number 3 because he was consistent. He got really good when Ben Johnson was part of the Lions. I don't know how good Jared Goff's going to be this upcoming year without Ben Johnson. So that's why I'm putting him at number 3. And then J.J. McCarthy, unproven. Looks like he's had a pretty rough camp, number 4.
Rough camp.
Whoa.
We're done. We're done.
Am I
with the
stuck on the
spicy
screen
take.
again?
We're done with the
No,
spicy
No, you're
take.
not. You're not. Well,
You
that
gotta
was,
deal with
that was
Nick.
by design. That was by design because people were talking a little trash. I just, wanted to keep you up there.
I can't believe it.
fourth wing.
Wow, the Jared Goff hate is real. That's crazy. Okay, all right. I like it. I like it. He's a hater. All right. Okay, it's your list. It's your list. One bar. Why don't you go ahead and drop yours on us, brother?
No, you're right, Nick. It is his list. I'm not going to give him shit. Like I'm glad he's got that confidence. I'm glad he's feeling good right now. So I'm not going to rain on his parade. JJ McCarthy's had a great camp. So I don't know what he's reading. I mean, we did just trade Harrison Phillips. That wasn't great, but JJ McCarthy's had a very good camp. The big question with McCarthy is obviously he had a very short stint in preseason, and that's all they're going to play him. Anyways, I'll get to my list. My list is Jared Goff, number one. I can't see how anybody can't put Goff one, just for what he's done. Like my mentality on this list is a guy that, like, right now, I'm not looking 2-3 years from now. I'm saying right now, who is the best quarterback? And I got to go Jared Goff. I got to give it to him. Great season. The dude, he shows up when it matters. Number two, I'm going to go Jordan Love. Jordan Love gets a little bit of a gift here because the two guys below him. I know Love has all the talent in the world. He's very athletic and he makes some plays that are just fantastic. But then he also does a lot of boneheaded stuff. We'll see what Love. I mean, Love's got to step up this year. This has got to be his year. I'm sick of hearing like, oh, he's got a little Favre in him. Like, to me, that's just like, oh, that was a horrible play. Like, Favre actually had those plays. He made those plays. At this point, he was an MVP. So Love, like, we'll see. Then I'm doing JJ McCarthy and Caleb Williams. To me, it's just flipping a coin at this point because Caleb Williams did not look like a number one pick last year. I will give it to Nick as far as the coaching staff and just the cluster F he was in last year. So we will see. I'm not sure what he is yet. We'll find out this year. And JJ McCarthy, or I'm putting McCarthy over Caleb Williams, and then I'm putting Caleb Williams. But I'm giving McCarthy the benefit of the doubt because it is a crapshoot, and he's a Viking quarterback, and he's going into a situation where Sam Darnold just had 35 touchdowns. So I believe JJ McCarthy, is going to have a very, very good season. We will see how good that is.
Oh, if JJ McCarthy turns out to be a better quarterback than Caleb Williams, who was drafted number 1 overall, chaos might break out on this show. I'm not going to lie.
That's a spicy take right there.
At this point, it's an easy one, man. I'm taking that all day. If I could pick a quarterback right now, I'm taking McCarthy.
Oof. All right.
Okay.
Bass?
We'll see after Monday Night Football.
Well, and the reason
I can't wait
being
for real football, man.
the reason being is we saw Caleb Williams last year. At least with McCarthy, it's still a bit of a question mark. We know this guy lives, breathes, and eats football. Caleb Williams looked like ass last year. I mean, as far as when you compare him to a first overall pick, like I expected a lot more. I don't care who his coach is.
When his offensive coordinator isn't watching film with him, not helping him at all, loses him, and then he goes and throws 1,800 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 1 pick in the last 7 games. 3 of those games coming against the NFC North. I think that's pretty impressive. I mean,
5 wins.
Yes. Wins. Okay. Listen, that's all you got. Fine. 1 bar. I just can't wait for Monday Night Football because that Wednesday show, one of us is walking in with some big, like the underwear that Dan was sponsoring last year, the really weird ads that we had to throw up on there. I need to get some extra larges for whoever wins. Holy moly. The Hogs coming on the trailer.
Nick, I love you, man. I am excited for week 1. We gotta throw a little bit of jabs at each other. I mean, we're coming, man. We're coming.
I can't wait for Andrew Billings, who apparently has put on another 20 pounds of muscle this year. Just absolutely. I hope Dennis Allen sends a jailbreak blitz on the first play. I don't care what Minnesota does, 40, 50-yard gain, and just sends a message just to scare McCarthy. That's just what I want. Anyway, we only got so much time. My bad.
There's a little update. For Harrison Phillips. The Vikings are paying $3.7 million, I guess, of his guaranteed money.
So just keeps getting better. It's even worse.
Yeah, just to like.
Can we just to dig the knife a little bit.
All right, Nick. All right, let's end the show, man. I need to go.
He's gonna cry.
Something's going on.
You're taking your anger out on me, 1 bar. I don't appreciate it.
No, not Nick. I love you. Caleb Williams gonna have a great year. I just got to see it, man. I just got to see it. Sorry.
That was the Minnesota.
Bass, why don't you give us your?
All right. I'll start with the bottom 2. I do have Williams over McCarthy, just because when I usually look at like my rankings for the upcoming season, it's not that I don't think McCarthy can be better than Caleb Williams. It's just he has yet to play a snap. I've yet to see him in a snap. So I'm just going to put him fourth, right? That's just how it's going to be. Williams at third. And then this is where, obviously you guys are going to probably call me crazy, but I do have Love over Goff, but it's very, very close. It's very, very close. And let me explain why. Statistically, yes, Goff played better than Love in 2024. There's no questions about that. 4,600 yards, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 111 quarterback rating, 100%. When you look at Jordan Love, 3,300 yards, almost 3,400, 25 total touchdowns, 11 picks, sub 100 rating. But I'll say this, when you look at Jordan Love in 2024, he led the league in terms of drop rate, 8.3%, the highest in the NFL. Jared Goff's 1.9%. So, Jared Goff had Ben Johnson. I'm not discrediting Goff. I think he had a phenomenal season. There's games when he had like 2 incomplete passes. It was crazy. But, he also had guys, Sam Laporta, Monter St. Brown, 2 phenomenal running backs, tremendous offensive line. Whereas Jordan Love had guys that couldn't catch a damn cold, and he was injured 90% of the year, right? He had that torn MCL, out couple of weeks, comes back week 4, and you could tell it was still affecting him all the way until week 7 when he finally starts to get healthy. Then he pulls his groin because, he has a lower leg injury. He's favoring a little bit, and he pulls his groin. He was not the same in the entire rest of the year. He couldn't run. He wasn't mobile, and that's a big part of Jordan Love's game. And the Packers really canned all of under center and play action, a huge part of Matt LaFleur's game. So when I'm looking at Jordan Love and seeing what I think of him for 2025, I do think he can be the best quarterback, and I think he will be the best quarterback in the NFC North. But that's not discrediting Jared Goff. It's very close. I love what he did over there in Detroit. I think he's going to have another great year, and that's why I have him, right under Jordan Love.
This is great. I mean, 3 different quarterbacks in the division have all been ranked at the very top. I've got to imagine that Dose loves him some Goff and he'll be number 1, but what say you, Dose?
Well, okay, so I'll just so I have Goff 1. And here's how I did it. Here's how I did it, though. I did it as if for this season, cutting into this year, so we're projecting, but if they put them all out and you're like, you have to draft your quarterback for this year. This is how I would draft them. So Goff 1, Love 2, JJ McCarthy 3, Tyson Bagent 4, Caleb Williams 5. That's how I would do it. So I would just
Agent, baby.
I would,
extended for a reason.
Hey, bro's out there getting money now. He's proven himself. 100% completion percentage last year. I mean, we can lock in on this if we have to. He threw a first down on half of his throws, Nick. We gotta look at numbers, okay? But no, I mean, like for me, the big one is gonna be JJ and Caleb. Honestly, I think if they were lined up and you're just like pick one, I think I'd take McCarthy, and that's obviously just based on Michigan because I thought he was awesome at Michigan, and I didn't want to see him go to Minnesota. He's in a great landing spot. So is Caleb. Like on paper, Caleb should be in a fantastic spot here. But I honestly believe with Minnesota's offensive line a little bit more. I'm more confident in what they have there because I think them adding Donovan to that mix and having 2 proven vets signed with Indy connected together, I think that lines up really well. They have an amazing left tackle who missed last season, most of it. So I think they're in a really good spot with that. Their weapons, we'll see how that shakes out. But I think you just, I mean, dude, literally anybody can throw to Jefferson and good things happen. I just think McCarthy going through a full year, that's a guy I would bet on. I would bet on McCarthy. Like, regardless of what the numbers are going to look like in the moment where I need it, that's the kind of guy that I would bet on. I'd bet on that character of the player. Now that against Caleb, it's just from what we've seen so far, it's not like Caleb was amazing. So it's like, oh, I got to take Caleb. It's kind of, even. So I take JJ at this point.
Wow. 2 people put Caleb last. And then we had one put him first. That was the craziest stack rankings I've probably ever seen. I didn't expect any of those things.
Trade. That was crazy.
I forgot about that.
Oh my God.
Nick, two people put your guy last. I feel like I got to give you a chance to defend this take of yours where you've got him number 1.
I already did. I mean, like, listen, he's got Ben Johnson now. I know that Dose. I know Dose is upset that he doesn't have Ben Johnson, so he's going to taking it out on that.
You should do well.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well. I put him at last now. It just looks better when he's at the top at the end of the year.
All right. Okay.
Wait, man, we got good quarterbacks in this division. It's not like this.
It is actually, it's a fun division, quarterback wise. I don't feel like any of them are terrible. Definitely have the high picks from last year. Got to see what they're going to do. There's some questions for sure, but I do think it's pretty good. But Bajan at 4 was pretty spicy. That's the real spicy take. He's
we didn't
better
talk
than
about that.
Caleb. That's wow. All right.
What's so crazy is that I had the the Bears quarterback's name's Eric Kramer. Dose knows who I'm talking about. He owns the Bears single season passing record, and he came on and he still defends that Tyson Bagent should be the starter over Caleb. I'm like,
there you go.
He's
holy shit. He's like, I don't even know how to reply.
There you go.
Like,
he's been cooking though, Nick. I mean, he's been cooking though. I'm watching.
Is there a non 0% chance that during the season, if Caleb is garbage, that would be a chance? Like they would put him in, like Bagent.
I mean, Ben's not giving anyone any freebies. He's been pretty tough at camp. Like if Caleb's not doing well, I guarantee you he's not gonna be afraid to throw Tyson. And on top of it too, he said during his presser today, he said 2 things. He said, 1, Tyson and I are wired very similarly. When we walk into the room, we're both all business. I was like, all right, hasn't said that about Caleb. Number 2, he said he was very impressed by how he's played the entire offseason, and it's been great working with him so far. I was like, okay. All right. Well, that could be something later. I mean, like, he's your number 1 pick. Ben came here because of Caleb, are a big reason why. It would have to be like 20 interceptions, 2 touchdowns kind of deal for that to happen. So I'm just saying, like, I think Ben talks highly about all of his guys. It's good to have a backup in this league. Also, you don't know what he could do. He could divide up playing time at the end of the season or something like that, or, certain play. I don't know, but it would be a crazy situation that Caleb, if he wasn't hurt, for Tyson to start over.
Gotcha.
Things can go south though when you bring in whole new regimes that didn't necessarily draft a player. So I don't foresee it happening, but I think that makes it more than 0% at the very least.
Right.
So throw that out there. All right, fellas, listen, great show. Couple weeks away from the regular season starting. Next week, we've got some more takes. I think we're to do some division rankings, so be ready for that, plus some more. But for the NFC North Roundtable, that's Bass, Nick, One Bar, Dose, and I am Jesse. We will see you next week. Peace.